The distance formula, example 2. Given 2 points, I'll graph these, I'll plot them. I've got 3, -5, and I've got 4, 1. When you see these points that are plotted, hopefully you start to visualize the right triangle that exists. The shortest distance between 2 points is always a straight line. So if I were to connect those 2 points, it's all fine and well, but really what I need is to know what my legs are for this right triangle. And those legs are found by doing my deltas. So when I stack my points, I figure out to go from -5 to 1, I've added 6, which means that this leg here, the delta y, is 6. Changing the distance and the y values, I've moved 6 units. To go from 3 to 4, I've added 1, so that means that this delta is 1. So I've got my 2 legs, and I am basically using the Pythagorean theorem. So you're looking at leg squared plus leg squared equal the hypotenuse squared. The only difference is this formula will change just by the way it looks, really. I'm going to take these values and I'm going to say that my distance is equal to, if you see, if I wanted just the hypotenuse, not the hypotenuse squared, I'd have to root it. So it becomes the square root of the delta x, that's one of the legs, squared, plus delta y, which is the other leg squared. So the distance formula is just a variation of the Pythagorean theorem. They're one and the same. Now I simply throw those values in. So my delta x was 1. I need to square that. My delta y was 6. I need to square that. And then I'm going to root that result. I do have to follow the order of operations. This is considered like a set of parentheses. You got to square these first and then add them before you can root them. So 6 squared is 36, 1 squared is 1. So I have 1 plus 36 under a radical. And that would be 37. And for this one, once you get to this point, most of your worksheets will ask you to round to a certain decimal place. So let's say that we want it 2 decimal places. Be pretty consistent with that. So I take my calculator, I'm going to go square root, and I simply type in 37. I want that 2 decimal places. So as I'm looking at this, this would be 6.08. 6.08 is equal to your distance. And that's how you do the distance formula. So example 2 for the distance formula.